Hey everyone, as was just mentioned, we have been putting out a one-pager on Kagan every day since she was nominated. They continue through this week, and if you haven't seen them, you can go to aul.org and see our one-pagers. Our concerns about Kagan are two principal areas. One is judicial activism or agenda-driven judging, and on the life issues. Others are going to talk more about the agenda-driven judging, so I want to talk more about the abortion issue. And there's 3 points that I want to make on that. 2 of the points have to do with her mentors or the people she most admires. One is this judge from Israel called Aaron Barak, and one is Justice Thurgood Marshall. Now, others are going to speak more about Barak in a minute, but just let me say a couple things real brief. First, this is her ideal judge, the one that she says is the greatest judge ever to be associated with Harvard Law School. And she said that when she was dean at Harvard. Now, what does this guy have to say that's relevant to the abortion issue? He says that the U.S. Supreme Court should use foreign law to figure out abortion under our Constitution. So you have the problem there of using foreign law in American courts and this idea that judges don't even need to be limited by the Constitution on an issue like abortion. Second point, Thurgood Marshall. Now, she clerked for him, and I'm sure she was friends with him and admired him, but her admiration did not stop in a kind of a normal human way. I mean, everybody, hopefully likes their boss, but she said his jurisprudence was, quote, a thing of glory. Now, on abortion, his jurisprudence was horrible. It was probably the worst jurisprudence ever on the court on abortion. Marshall thought there was a right for federal funding of any and every abortion. He also struck down and would have struck down any and every law on parental involvement in an unmarried young girl's decision whether or not to have an abortion. So that's very extreme. Does she think that is a thing of glory? Now, on Kagan herself, this is point 3, we know when she was in the Clinton White House that she was very involved in the decisions about what to do on the partial birth abortion ban. As you know, that was going through Congress, and Clinton had to decide whether or not to veto it. Her memos and emails show that she was at the center of this discussion, and she wasn't simply giving him legal advice. She was giving him political advice about how to basically to do nothing and look like he did something. It's clear to me from her memos that she would go further on abortion even than Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton. Also, she has criticized the Congress's right to choose childbearing over abortion in a criticism of a case called Rust v. Sullivan. And last of all, she has endorsed what's called a motive test, in which you look into the motives of legislators. Pro-abortion lawyers and pro-abortion law professors have argued for a long time that any law that passes that restricts abortion should be struck down as having a bad motive. So when you put all those things together, we are very concerned that she would be an extreme pro-abortion justice on the court.